Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Automation, the car company Tycoon Game. Today I'm gonna be presenting a car I've already made, the Marina Bolt, for the Marina company campaign. It is the first mid-engined car. It is supposed to be a sort of supercar for its time, and there's a couple of new things about this compared to the cars we have built previously. Obviously, the first big difference is that it's mid-engined. It also has a space frame that responds all around the fiberglass panel, so that's not new. But again, it's mid-engined, so that's novel for us. Aesthetically, you know, big round headlights. Indicators underneath, this grille with some vents and some vents on the bonnet as well. And then on the rear, just very classic sort of style with a lot of vents on what is effectively the bonnet. And yeah, this body is obviously very much like a De Tomaso Mangusta / Pantera. And well, the Pantera was actually kind of a car that inspired me to do this, but in a more kind of European way, if you will, because especially back then, in '65, there was a big discrepancy when it came to building, like how cars are built between like in Europe versus in America. In America, you had like all those muscle cars rocking V8s of like 6 liters and upwards, sometimes 5 liters, but still in Europe, you know, in 1965 you had the Ferrari 246, the Dino 246, which had a 2.4 liter V6 and made 190 horsepower. This one has a 3.5 liter flatplane V8. It has, I'm gonna go with overhead cam setup though. Yeah, overhead cam setup. 225 horsepower, we wanted 220. Yeah, 225 horsepower, okay. I don't know why I went with the direct acting, I would just see to start with, but it's okay. Yeah, aluminium all around, overhead cam, just like, no, actually unlike the Dino 246, which had dual overhead cams with 2 valves per cylinder. But this has a really nice torque curve, nice power band. This does get a decent like torque boost in the mid-range here, and then drops off later on. Forged internals all around. 50 cam profile is enough for the kind of RPMs we need. No turbochargers, of course. DCOE quad carbs performance intake, just like we're used to. 68 ignition timing make this thing decently responsive actually. 43.9 is not bad. 6,000 RPM rev limit. And then long tubular exhausts. You know, big enough for a little bit more power than it actually makes, but yeah, let's keep it bigger so that it's louder, you know. So 225 horsepower, 232 pound-feet of torque. This should be getting this car moving pretty quickly because it is again made from fiberglass. With a 4-speed manual gearbox, open diff, sports tires of 15-inch diameter, 205 section rear tires, steel rims, solid discs all around as far as brakes go, with a bigger diameter on the rear than on the front because, well, that's the weight balance of this car. Cooling airflow is just enough. Sport interior, basic radio, standard safety, just like we've been going for pretty much the entire time. Then a very sporty setup here with terrible ride quality. And overall this car weighs just 1,053 kilograms, which is heavier than anything we've built so far except for the convertible. but still this also makes by far the most power. And as such, it'll do 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds, reach 250 kilometers an hour, and complete a quarter mile in 14.2 seconds, and that is actually really quick for 1965. And I think I also want to do a sort of track version of this thing, a race version if you will. And so let's clone this one. We are going to be giving this thing a lip on the front. Can't actually move, can't actually drag it all the way around unless we make it thinner, which I will. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I'm gonna be giving it one of these on the roof. And a wing on the rear. And now what wing do I want? There's a couple of options, of course, but I think really the only one I want to consider is, if only I could find it out, one of these, probably. Yeah, this one probably. Sure. Let's go with that. Repaint it in something like a bright orange. So that it draws attention immediately. Yeah, right. And then of course it wouldn't be a race car if it didn't have a retuned engine. So we are gonna clone this. Make the quality on the engine head a lot higher because we're gonna need it. Also increase the cam profile by a lot. Actually want to make this thing rev to 7,000? No, 6,500 is enough for now. We can go with a race intake on this one, I guess, and a race exhaust. .300 horsepower. Sure. It's almost as drivable, but more sporty. Let's give this thing a 5-speed box as well, so that we can make sure that it will actually go like hell off the line. 5.3 seconds. Yeah, 5.3 seconds is really quick. Can we now make this thing get wider rear tires? Yes, we can. 5.2 seconds. With magnesium rims, that won't drop. Okay, that's fine. Don't really think I can do very much to the brakes. Gonna give this thing a little bit more front downforce. Maybe not actually. And we need more cooling. This is pretty much perfect. Gonna give this thing a little bit of aerodynamics quality as well. And then actually, if it's a racing car, we might as well put it on semi-slicks. No entertainment. No power steering, of course. Gonna lower it a little bit. And then stiffen it up. Right. Let's see how this thing handles for now. And okay, that could be a little bit better. Let's test the quarter mile for now. This thing pulls hard. And it's loud. It's properly loud. 13.6 second quarter mile. Now that's quite something for 1965. That's the 300 horsepower version. 3.5R. That's what this thing's gonna be called. And sure, this one's gonna have a bigger markup. 30 grand. And let's see how this thing does on like Laguna Seca. If it can do it in less than 2 minutes. I mean, it should. $153.9. I don't have a reference for cars of that era, but oh, look at that, it's actually oversteering a little bit now. Might be good to increase this a little bit and decrease that. Yeah, okay. $152.88. Again, I don't have a reference for cars of that time, but I imagine this would be pretty damn quick for 1965. So yeah, that's the 3.5R version of the Marina Bolt. And hope you enjoyed this episode of Automation. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.